So we are ready to continue with our second speaker. He's a well-known blockchain entrepreneur and a lawyer. He's also a managing partner at Cointelligence. His name is on Yavin, and he will also be joining us online.
So I'm the founder and managing partner at Cointelligence Fund. Um, we are completely focused on investing in the metaverse and more specifically blockchain-based games. The fund is fully regulated, which makes it very unique in our industry. And I'm going to talk today about fundraising for the metaverse and blockchain-based games, and I'll explain why we decided to completely focus on investing in that, and also I'll explain a few points about fundraising for founders that will be able to understand how we choose companies that we invest in. So just to make sure you can still hear me and I can go ahead. Correct?
Please go ahead. Everything's good.
Okay, great. So I'm going to start. So first of all, the reason that we obviously decided to focus our investments in the gaming industry is the following. I'm going to share some data with you. So first of all, since the publication of the game called Pong in 1972, the gaming industry has grown to generate over 175 billion in revenue per year. And you can see that the breakdown between mobile 90 billion to PC 35 billion and the different consoles 49 billion. And the video gaming industry is undeniably one of the biggest industries in the global market currently, with hundreds of billions in revenue. It is one of the most attractive industries to either invest or work under. And just to go over some statistics or some more in-depth statistics, there are over 2.7 billion gamers worldwide. 1.5 billion gamers are in the Asia Pacific region. 75% of Americans have at least one gamer in their household. China, the US, and Japan are top 3 gaming markets worldwide. PlayStation 2 is the best-selling game console of all time with 157 million units sold since its launch. 2019, the US employed 53% of game developers. Steam is the number one storefront for 47% of game developers. And League of Legends is the most popular PC game worldwide as of March 2020. And these statistics shows without any doubt how much the gaming industry is a serious industry. And on my presentation, there's a very nice graph that I wanted to present, but obviously you can't see it. So I'll just tell you that the biggest take from that graph is the fact that with regards to gaming, compared to any other media, for example, messaging and social media, audio, video, and any media out there, the gaming growth is undoubtedly bigger than anything else with regards to the time spent, the watching time spent. And that includes games and also esports events, of course. I'd like to move on to a grayscale metaverse report that I'd like to share the outcome with you. In November 2021, Grayscale released a report exploring the metaverse. And though it is still in its early stages, the metaverse is already a huge part of the blockchain industry and will continue to attract players, both traditional and native crypto. And the report highlights the following attributes. One, projects like Decentraland allow people to interact, govern, and earn tokens and gain real-world benefits for their time spent online. With regards to growth, revenue from virtual gaming worlds has a potential to grow from 180 billion in 2020 to 400 billion in 2025. And the last point that I would like to highlight is that the metaverse is still in the early stages of its adoption and understanding by users. One more key point that I'd like to highlight with regards to the reason that we decided to invest in the metaverse and blockchain-based games, beside what I mentioned already, is the fact that play-to-earn concept allows people to actually get out of poverty. And we've already seen thousands of people around the world that started participating in the play-to-earn mechanic and make profits, and they actually completely stopped working at their regular day job and decided to focus on the play-to-earn income. And now I'd like to discuss the most important part of the presentation, and that's going to be the part that we analyze for a GameFi project and what we think makes a play-to-earn project or a GameFi project to be potentially successful. So first of all, we identify everything about the team members, the history of the founding team, the knowledge and past experience that they have. And I would like to highlight one specific point that is about anonymity. So with crypto, there is some kind of a standard of being anonymous for some people. When you reach out to a potential investor and you would like to ask the investor for money, be ready to disclose all your details, at least with Cointelligence Fund, because we will never be investing in any project unless we know who are the people behind the project and what's their past experience and abilities. The next stage is analyzing the stable technological offering, which means that we make sure that the team is actually capable of developing a GameFi project, which is very difficult, to be honest, because not only you have to be able to develop everything around gaming, and that's a profession of its own, you also have to be able to develop on blockchain, and you have to make sure that your smart contracts are valid and high quality and high level, and it's not easy to many people out there. Obviously, everything around the unique gaming experience is a must. The story, the game mechanics, proper PvE and PvP mechanisms, these are very important parts. Beside that, smart tokenomics with a clear regulatory outcome. And I'll explain what I mean. First of all, we have to remember that everything that is done with regards to the token economics is affecting the regulation regarding the project, because if the token is going to be a security or a utility, or if a token or if it's a dual token, then you have to make sure that you know the difference between them. But more importantly, the biggest part of the determination of the token will affect your regulation. And we have to remember that with crypto, everything is global. So even if you're sure that you know what you're doing with regards to a specific jurisdiction, to a specific country, it's not likely to apply to another jurisdiction. For example, if we take the US, the UK, Germany, and Japan, the regulatory framework can be completely different in different cases. Beside that, I'd like to highlight a very important point with regards to DAOs. Everybody in the industry thinks that DAOs can protect founders from regulatory issues. That's completely wrong. Actually, DAOs are at the highest risk at the moment, because the US regulator might decide that the tokens that were offered through DAOs are securities. And that's going to be a huge issue for many of the projects. And I'd like to highlight two more points before I finish my presentation. One is everything around the marketing plans of the project. So everybody knows that marketing is very, very important. But with regards to crypto projects, we have to make sure that at least one of the co-founders or one of the core team members has the right experience with crypto marketing. Crypto marketing is completely different compared to traditional marketing, compared to even advanced technological online marketing. There is still a huge difference between that and crypto marketing. And unless you have the proper knowledge and experience, you're most likely doomed to fail. And the last part is, of course, the strategic positioning in the industry, which means that connections to everything from high-level investors to launchpads to guilds to centralized exchanges to influencers and so on and so on. If you don't have that positioning in the industry, you are also doomed to fail. And we make sure that every project is with a good standing with regards to that. So these were the highlights and the recommendations for founders of crypto, potential crypto projects. Thank you for listening. And if anyone has questions, I'm happy to answer them.
And they secure themselves when it comes to the regulatory frameworks. You've been mentioning a couple of scenarios with the DAOs, with the securities, with the utility tokens. So are there like any general advices that you can give to the founders who are trying to build like a long-term sustainable projects and still stay within the regular frameworks?
So I can absolutely answer your question, but I have to tell you that at the moment, the regulatory framework in most of the jurisdictions is unclear. And it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem for the industry. It's a huge problem for all of us. And that has to be something that is clear to every founder out there. But having said that, my biggest suggestion is to hire a reliable lawyer that specializes in crypto, and maybe even hire more than one, maybe even hire 2 lawyers or 3 lawyers, because this is something that you do not want to be cheap with regards to your expenses. And I'm saying that because obviously every startup must be cautious about the burn rate and to spend as little as possible always. But with regards to consulting with a lawyer or even a few lawyers, I would recommend to spend the money on that and make sure that the lawyer is actually reliable. And I'm mentioning that because I already had a few talks with different lawyers in the industry that call themselves crypto experts and more specifically crypto experts with regards to the utility versus security and so on. And I've seen them make horrible mistakes, and they can actually cause their clients to go to jail because of their false advice. So I would highly recommend to not only hire the right lawyers, but also to make sure that they are reliable.
Okay, all right. Maybe another question, like considering the current market situations, I don't know if you've been following, the recent black swan that happened with Terra Luna, with UST depegging and going essentially to zero. Do you think that it will do, what do you think it will change in regards to investing into the crypto projects going forward? And also, how do you think that it will impact us from the regulatory standpoint going forward?
So I think that this specific crash and all the commotion that is going around Luna at the moment is definitely going to hurt the industry. I think that the regulators will be very difficult now with regards to stablecoins, and stablecoins is an important part of the industry. Obviously, when you talk about Luna, it's a bit difficult to call it a stablecoin, but it was potentially supposed to be one. So I think that there are going to be serious issues with the regulators now, specifically with regards to stablecoins. I think that it's also going to make them be more strict with regards to crypto in general, but specifically with regards to the GameFi industry at the moment, I don't see any effect beside the fact that all prices are very, very low at the moment. It's probably going to continue to be the situation for the next few months, maybe possibly until next year, even close to the end of next year. But nothing new. I mean, this is crypto. This is how the crypto market is behaving. We already had so many crashes like this one. You hear me very relaxed and not panicked like others, because I've been in the industry for almost 5 years now. And I've seen a few crashes. So when I was there at the first crash, I panicked. But starting the second crash and definitely the third crash, I realized that that's the behavior of the market, of the crypto market. It's not going to stop anytime soon. It's going to continue to happen in the next at least 4, 5, 6 years. We're going to see huge growth, and we're going to see huge crashes, and nothing new out there, to be honest.
Okay. Do you think geographically it matters where to start your project? Are there certain areas or certain crypto hubs around the world that are more crypto friendly and blockchain friendly in terms of their legal frameworks than the other countries? And if yes, can you maybe name some of them?
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, after extensive research that we did at Cointelligence, we decided to establish Cointelligence Fund at Gibraltar. And the reason that we decided to establish there is because it has the best DLT framework compared to any jurisdiction out there. The decision was made actually in 2020, but it's still relevant in mid 2022. So that's a jurisdiction that I recommend in general. You also have other jurisdictions that you would like to choose for the company that is issuing the tokens, because these jurisdictions are much easier compared to others, and that would be the following examples. So you have Cayman, you have BVI, you have Cyprus, and you have Estonia. I would say that the first three are the most common ones that we see when we are analyzing projects. And even though they don't have the framework that Gibraltar has, they are considered to be much easier jurisdictions to establish a company that is issuing a token. Beside that, we see other jurisdictions. For example, we see the Bahamas. We've seen US, which is surprising considering the regulatory issues in the US, which is probably the most difficult out there. And basically, we've seen companies in many different other jurisdictions, but I would actually recommend the ones that I mentioned. And I see that we have a question from the audience. Let me read it. Can you please name a few games that don't use musical chairs tokenomics? In the successful play-to-earn games, some players must pay for the banquet and never withdraw money back. Yes, absolutely. We've seen too many projects that are like that. By the way, the question is by Jaroslav. Thank you, Jaroslav, for asking the question. Yes, we've seen too many of them. Obviously, the biggest attacks that everybody hears, mainly recently, are towards Axie Infinity, which is the industry leader, and everybody knows about Axie Infinity. But unfortunately, the token economics there are pretty much failing. It's starting with the fact that people bought characters for a lot of money, and now that these characters are worth half or maybe even a fifth of what they paid for. In general, the token economics there is not allowing people to make money properly. as they expected, and it's an issue. Now, with regards to giving examples of proper token economics, I would say that no one out there actually proved itself for the long term. So I can't give you any examples for that. If you're asking me about the potential of proper token economics, I can tell you that three projects that we invested in that already launched their token, but two of them did not launch the game, so it's going to be a problem to prove it. But I am saying potentially. I would say that Snook, Decimated, and Rebel Bots are three projects that I have very, very high expectations for them with regards to the token economics and with regards to everything else, by the way, not just the token economics. But I am saying again, two of them did not launch the game yet, and it's still too early for the three of them and for me to be able to tell you that the token economics is bulletproof. Potentially, it's looking very good, but it's not certain yet. Thank you for asking the question. I hope I answered.
Nice. I am sure we have a lot of questions from the audience, right? Oh, beautiful. We actually have one. I'm going to give you a microphone. 1 second. 1, 2. Yep. Please state your name and the question.
Hi, I'm Michael. Tell us your opinion about South America and crypto.
So I think that South America is one of the most progressed places for crypto with regards to adoption. I think that it's mainly because some of the South American countries, the citizens don't trust the governments, don't trust the money that is issued by governments, and they prefer to go to crypto and to use crypto. Especially if, for example, not only people that are living in South America, but people that are living abroad and sending money to their families in South America. So I think that it's a huge place for crypto, and not only we see big adoption there. I think that with regards to the gaming industry specifically, that we are very much focused on. I think that South America is going to probably be one of the biggest markets out there because of the first reason that I mentioned, and also because people can actually potentially make a living from playing games, and it's probably going to be much better for them compared to other types of jobs that they can have.
Beautiful. Thank you. And thank you for the question. Any other questions from the audience? Nope. There are no more questions from the audience. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time on Yavin. We really appreciate
Thank you.
We really appreciate your time. And hopefully we'll be able to talk much more in the future.
Thank you for inviting me. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.